Hello everyone and welcome to Dunbar Cave State Park and Natural Area. My name is Sam Melber. I will be your seasonal interpretive ranger for the day. And also I'm just going to be talking to you guys for about the next 10 minutes or so about a different kind of timeline than you're probably used to. If you haven't used the restroom or you need to know where they are, it's just up the hill and to the left a little bit. But otherwise, we're going to settle in and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how past generations used cave art kind of the same way we use social media to be remembered, to share big events, tell stories, even pass on culture. So here in the park, if you've looked around at any signage or been up to the gift shop, you will have learned that this is a karst cave system. There are many all around Tennessee, and in a lot of those systems, there was also indigenous cave art. Many people have traversed this cave. So there will be lots of markings, lots of scratches, etches, damage, paths have been dug out, fires have taken place. There's lots of marks to really kind of decipher all over the place. Not unlike the internet. That being said, we had a guest archaeologist back in 2005 who was walking through our cave and saw this image. Now, this picture is the one we're probably the most famous for here at Dunbar Cave. These two symbols were the symbols that were noticed first, that had anthropologists and archaeologists coming to our cave to check it out, to find other native work. So these two symbols look very reminiscent of suns and circles, and they're just kind of hard to decipher. But what we do know about Native American culture, and the left circle pictograph on the wall there, is that they imagined their world as a globe, as a circle. The underneath was the underworld. The middle was everything here on Earth, and the up top were the celestials. And the second image on the right looks very similar to that, but the flames almost look as if it's moving, and the center is swirling or transforming. So this could be indicative of the fact that this cave was considered a transformative place. They did consider this a portal to the underworld. And when you die, you are transformed into your afterlife form, whether it be celestial or just as a spirit. Now, other options for what this could be, since we do not know, they kind of remind me of celestial events. And I only say this because I know a few years back, we had the giant eclipse across the United States, and I was taking pictures. I was putting them on my Instagram. I was sharing them on my Facebook. And I know that those of us who live through big events like these, that are eclipses, comets, things like that, we document them, we share them. And so it's fun to think about the different stories that come from just this one image. Now, our next image is actually a much bigger image. I have a hard time kind of seeing this one just because it's a little rough, and it's actually on the underside of a wall. So I did put the picture of what it actually looks like drawn out underneath. This image is of a warrior, horizontal, heading into the cave. And as you can see, maybe clearly, maybe not so clearly, it does have anthropomorphic features. The claws on the feet, the three-toed hands. And in Cherokee culture, there are things called thunderers, and they are celestial beings. They were warriors transformed that have the ability to morph back and forth between human and animal, like man to hawk or man to bear. It's possible that this is a symbol of a man or a warrior, given the forelock and the headgear, very Mississippian, that he is going into the cave and he is being transformed into one of these celestials. And it's very important because this image is actually 7 feet long in real time. And I just try to imagine, anything that's that big must be important. That is a large part of this cave. And it kind of reminds me when you make those big posts, those big life-changing events. Anytime you've moved somewhere or gotten married or engaged, Facebook always throws up that big sign. It's just common knowledge. You want someone to notice, you want someone to read and take note, you make it big. Now our last bit of art is a little bit harder to decipher. This one is a complete anomaly. We do know from the bit of carbon dating that we could get that it dates back the same as the other two images. We can't get a perfect date on any of it because it's just so degraded, but we know it is the same between all three images. And that being said, this I put a diagram of what it actually looks like because you will not be able to see it unless you go on our tour later. You won't be able to see it until you're up close with the shadow playing. These are pictographs, cave drawings, and petroglyphs, which are etchings or carvings in the wall. Now, we have no clue what this means. The arch over top of the circles could definitely be the cave. It could be the celestial realm. It could be the sky. We don't know. And there are many circles all over inside of this. They could be portals. They could be phases of the moon. Some of them have circles within circles. There's a lot of Cherokee artwork that has symbols just like this and designs. This is actually one of my favorites, even though it's very hard to see and it's very hard to decipher because it leaves the most room for interpretation. It's kind of like New Age art to me, in a sense. It reminds me that any interpretation that you come up with is going to provoke a little bit of thought. And it's really interesting to think about who carved this into the wall, who drew this into the wall, and why. What were the different reasonings? What did it take all in one go, or did it take a long time? But that being said, I would like to move into our activity because I feel like it just kind of touches perfectly on that. Now, I would like to see everyone take the chalkboards and the chalk that I gave you earlier and draw me something that is important to you. Something like a life event, something you care about, something that is essentially you. And it won't only take a second. Stick figures are welcome. I have terrible artistic skills, so I will not judge. But if I were to draw my cave art while you guys are sketching, my cave art would probably be an image of myself with my two boys, safe in our house. And that's because I would hope that you guys could glean from my wall that I am a mother and my family is important to me. My sons are my world. And that's probably what mine would say about me. So I see everybody is like, quickness. Okay, are we done? I would like to see your images. All right, so you. Yes. I see cats. Cool. All right, so what can we learn about our friend over here with cats and herself? Animals. Yeah, animals are important to her. Exactly. So I can infer that your family cares about their animals, you care about your animals, and you have a very strong connection with them. That's really great. Who else has a picture they want to share? Oh, wow. That is a lot of people. Is that your entire family, extended family? It's you and your kids. How many kids do you have? 6. Okay. You're clearly not all here. That would be a whole lot. But that being said, I can tell you are also a very, very big family person. That's really awesome. So we can deduct from our friend's drawing over here that family is the biggest part of his life. And that's really, really cool. So now that you've seen all of our neighbors' cave art, and you've seen our Mississippian timeline, if you will, I know that in the pictures I showed you, a couple of you were kind of giving me quizzical looks. There were a lot of etchings and edges of spray paint and things like that on some of the art. And if you go on our cave tour shortly, you are going to see a whole lot more. Unfortunately, a few years in the 70s, there was a lot of damage done to our cave. But although we can't clean it off, it could damage the cave walls and the ecosystem inside. We like to think of it kind of as a testament to the true human nature of wanting to leave your mark. Yes, it can be unsightly, but it does have that kind of meaning to us. As you make your way back up the path to the shop, or if you go over to the cave entrance for the tour, I just kind of want you guys to think about what your wall says about you, your cave art says about you, and the things that are the most important to you, and the memories you make. And then I'd like you to imagine if somebody were to write over them, or to maybe even erase them, and how that would make you feel. I know as caretakers of this sacred place, myself and the other rangers here, we think about it every single day. And I know I'd do anything in my power to keep their legacy alive. And I hope that with this program, I've kind of maybe inspired you to do the same. So I'm going to be here for another 5 or so minutes. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to come up to me. Or if you even have any inquiries about our awesome friends group, they are incredible and they work alongside us every single day to help us, with our mission of keeping this place safe and protected and clean. So, yeah, if you'd like to talk about that, come on over. And if not, have a great rest of your day. I hope it's a beautiful one here in the park. Bye.